Okay, so here's how to take the relational process litmus test. The RPLT is a 50-item test measuring 10 different domains on a 5-point Likert scale, ranging from never or almost never, sometimes, about 50-50% of the time, most of the time, or almost or always. On some questions, the numbers are reversed, where never or almost never has a 1, sometimes has a 2, about 50-50 has a 3, most of the time has a 4, and almost always has a 5. Couples rate themselves and their partner or other relationship with different colored pens. After each rule, there's a place at the end to create a percentage of how the person is following the rule. At the beginning of the test is a percentage indicating what the overall numbers mean. So after taking the test, what is your feedback? Does the test have any face validity? Do the domains reflect sharing power in your relationship? What did you like about the test? What did you not like about the test? Please provide any questions or comments you have. And if you bring your relational process litmus test to class next week, extra credit will be given if students take the test and if they're able to answer the above questions. And 10 extra credit points will be awarded if you do that. All right. I'm going to now end this here and bring up the test itself. If you look, and this is going to be online, it explains you the instructions. Each process rule has several questions or statements concerning aspects of the individuals in question with regard to their interpersonal process. This test can be answered from the perspective of the individual taking the test for themselves or of the person taking the test answering the questions concerning a significant relationship of theirs, i.e. spouse, potential life partner, parent, sibling, friend, etc. If the person taking the test is answering for themselves, they simply need to fill out their own name. They should also think about themselves in relationship to one particular person at a time. If they're looking at a litmus test for someone else, they fill in that particular person's name and how the person relates to them. Please note that some of the questions are written from a positive point of view, such as John is able to take a stand or stand on their truth when he feels strongly about an issue, in which case the maximum of points is 5 is on the always or almost always agree. And some of the questions are written from a negative point of view where the maximum number of points is on the almost never or never dimension, such as Jill gets physically, emotionally, or verbally abusive with the other person. In that case, if the answer is no, she rarely or never does that, it would be a 1. Each process rule will provide a relational process quotient, sorry about that, RQP interpretation of how the person is doing within a particular process rule area. So the relational quotient percentages are such. If you get an 100 to 81%, you're doing exceptional to very good in that area. 80 to 61%, good to just okay. 60 to 41%, fair to poor. 40 to 21%, very poor to failing, and below 20% unacceptable. The person is too self-centered in this area to be functionally relational in this area, and they're not able to share power. So you have the name of the evaluator and the name of the evaluee. So for instance, if you look at process rule number 1, let's say I'm doing it with my wife. Can Angela take responsibility for themselves and own their process? So I would put almost always or always, so I would give Angela a 5. So I'd circle Angela, let's say I'm using a blue pen for Angela. So I'd circle 5 for Angela. For myself, since I take it at the same time, I'll say, can Chris take responsibility for themselves and own their own process? And I might say, well, I'm not as good about that as she is, so I'll say most of the time. So I'll put, let's say, my pen in red and say, okay, so Chris gets a 4, Angela gets a 5. Second question. Now this is a reverse question. Angie is unwilling or unable to own or see her positive qualities or strength. And so let's say I think, yeah, sometimes she has some difficulty. So I give her a 4 instead. Sometimes she's unwilling or unable to see her difficulties or positive strengths. And let's say, so I circle that in blue. And so then I put in Chris. Chris is unwilling or unable to own or see his or his positive qualities or strengths. I'll say, yeah, sometimes. So I'll put a 4. So there'll be 2 circles on 4, a red one and a blue one. I'm the red one and she's the blue one. So be cognizant of some of the double negatives and the way the scoring goes, because some of them are reversed as well. All right, that's a basic rundown of the RPLT, and good luck, and I appreciate your feedback. All right, take care.